Hey everyone, it's Photo here. I hope you're all doing well. Yes, I'm using the Gamester G7A on my PS5. So this is the Brook FGC2 adapter. It's allowing us to use Xbox controllers and some X input and Switch controllers to play PS5 games on PS5. So right now I'm controlling the PS5 UI with the G7HE. One thing that I found that was a little bit odd, the share button that's on the Xbox controller doesn't actually function as the share button on the PS5. To get the share options up here, you actually have to press the menu and view button together, and then the share option appears. If you press and hold the two, it can take a screenshot for you, but the share button on the controller basically, on the Xbox controller, just doesn't do anything. So right now I've connected my V3TE using the Brook adapter on the PC. Now what the adapter does, whatever input is coming from the controller gets converted into a DualSense output. So DualSense has like on 8-bit resolution, so 128 zones from center to edge, and it's like 0.78%. So you'll convert everything that's coming in to a DualSense output. Now that can have an issue if you have a controller that has a, let's say, a lower resolution than a PlayStation one. And on top of that, so I've already made a video on my V3TE that it has uneven output on certain directions. So if you have that and it's not calibrated properly, so I've done the calibrations on my one because it's not updated yet. When I do the basically circularity test, you will see that I have certain areas where it won't reach like a full 100%, like some parts are missing. And I've tested this in the game as well. Because the uneven resolutions, what it will do is it will just skip percentages. It won't just go up by 1% in Call of Duty. It will just get to a point where it will be just skipping a percentage. That's just like because the resolution on the controller is lower than what the adapter is outputting. But if you are having issues and it's basically not reaching all the 100% values in directions your controller, Brook has a solution. So they have something called the Thumbstick scaler. That's through the Brook PC converter tool. So let's take a look at that now. This is the software that they give you. To get the device recognized by it, you have to basically connect it whilst holding the both buttons on the adapter in and then connect it. And basically that's when it gets read by the software. Now we are there. And the software allows you many things about turbo. You can remap like different buttons to water. You just have to add it. And when the first time you come on the page, you actually have to make a profile. So if you don't have a profile, then it's not going to basically allow you to do it. You have to create a profile. I've already created one, so that's where it is. Then you have macros and stuff. I mean, I haven't touched anything there, but what I was interested in is the thumbstick section. So we can enable dead zones if we want to. Definitely don't do that. I wish they had included an anti-dead zone feature, so we could have introduced a dead zone, but then output our own one like the V3 has. And this is the thumbstick scaling ratio. So when we enable this, we can do it, per stick or both or whatever. But anything below 1 will limit to the output. So it's basically be less than the 1-to-1 ratio. So if I leave it at 0.74, 0.75, it'll just go to the 75% register. It won't go to 100%. Now, my issue is my controller in certain directions cannot reach 100% with the calibration. It's on the controller and the resolution on the controller. So if I increase that over 1, then I'll be able to do that. So if I just go over, if I just do 1.1, I'll save it to the device. So that profile, that test profile that I've made, that will get synced to the device. I can disconnect the device, and now Gamepad Tester should read the controller. And if I do the circularity test now, you will see it will be going outside the 100%. And what it does is the 1.1, every like 8th or 9th increment, so instead of being a 0.8, it just go double. So it'll be like 1.6. That's what I've noticed that 1.1 value does. But yeah, at least there is a solution that we can do that. And it will fix any, if you have any calibration issues or whatever, you can fix that. We don't have a manual calibration option, so we can't calibrate at the moment. There is a PlayStation calibration tool that doesn't recognize this one on the web, and Brook converter tool doesn't have a recalibration feature where we can actually calibrate the output, but they have given us the scaling output option. Okay, so a lot of controllers can do 1000 Hertz, and I wanted to check what the adapter can do when it comes to the sort of like the frequency, the hertz, like how many times it can talk to the device and stuff. So according to my test, this is capped at 500 hertz. So right now, if you just pay attention to the updates per second, what this number shows is how many values are changing within a second, and it's 2 values. So your hertz basically is half of that. So if I just move the stick, because this is in 1000 hertz mode at the moment, the controller, and you'll see that it's goes to like 1800. And if I put it into the Xbox mode, which basically limits the controller into 250 hertz, and if I do the same thing again, you will see it will be around 500 or whatever, like 450, 460, and things like that. So yeah, that's the controller itself. Now let's take a look at, I'm going to put it in 1000 hertz and just make sure that it's actually doing that, and then we'll check what the adapter does. Yeah, so yeah, 1700. So now it's connected through the Brook adapter and it's in the 1000 hertz mode. And if I just basically do that, you will see it'll go to, I mean, it looked like it's only doing 700, but don't forget, so these, just one value is changing there. So if I do it within, you'll see it'll go to like, it goes over 900. So it does do around 500 hertz. And that's basically the maximum that they've done. But not every 1000 hertz controller outputs a 1000 hertz performance. The V3 TE does. If I put Collide in the 1000 hertz, it just reverts to normal 250 hertz. Now, if I change the V3 TE to 250 hertz, you'll see that the output will change too. And if I just do that, you'll see it'll go to like 400 something, 450, whatever. So that definitely, the adapter can take the benefit of having higher hertz, but it's capping at 500 hertz. Using 1000 hertz definitely helps. I'm going to show you guys some latency test results now. So what you're seeing here is basically I did my latency test where I'm recording at 240 frames. I've explained in the past what I'm doing. It's basically moving the stick, so flicking it as quickly as possible. And this time around, what I did was there were some dead zones added, because if the stick is drifting, then you could have basically some input from that drift. The thing could change a little bit quicker. So this time around, what I did was I kept a 5 minimum dead zone, but the maximum was 7. So the moment it came out of 5 and it hit 7, it was like 100%. Every controller I did that way. And so tested the G7HE on Xbox, and then basically PlayStation 5 results are here. VRR was on PS5 because I did that on the Xbox as well. And to my surprise, my PS5 on the Gigabyte 4K 144 Hz, so 4K 120, has way more latency than what Xbox was able to do. So I had the VRR on, it was wired, all the results are wired, and I made sure that the connection method was USB. HDCP was turned off, and they used the same USB port for all the results, is the front USB Type-C port. So if we look at the DualSense Edge, the results, so these are basically average results of that, and you can see every result, how many frames it was taking. So DualSense Edge was 8.33, normal DualSense was 8.56. V3 TE in 1000 Hz using the adapter was 9.13. So that was like the best. And G7HE, we know that the 1000 Hz is not like proper 1000 Hz. There is an insert every 7-8 poles or whatever. That came to 9.8, and then you can see what the V3 was, the results. The V3 TE had 1000 Hz, no 11 frames. And then we can see the G7HE here, so 9.8. And then we have the V3 Tournament Edition in 250 Hz. So you can see the results of the 250 Hz, slower, 10.43. And then Victrix BFG, which is a PS5 license controller. That one is actually slower than using the G7HE or the V3 using the Brook adapter on PS5. That one is actually coming out slower than that. And then Nacon was behind that. And then I tried using the Nacon with the PC mode in the adapter the FGC2 adapter to see maybe if we could get a little bit better performance. But yeah, that was the slowest that I got, a lot of latency. So the adapter is definitely adding latency. I mean, it's thinkable, right? Because it's converting whatever's coming in. It has to convert it and then output it. So there is some latency there. And if I'm going to be completely honest, my gaming sessions, if you're on PS5 and you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, what the matchmaking right now is, you need every advantage you can get. I don't think I can use this adapter to play Black Ops 6 personally. Like, I think it's much better using just a normal DualSense or DualSense Edge. But if you are after the Xbox controller, yeah, then it makes sense that you can use this adapter. But for the latency, yeah, it is adding latency, and the games are so competitive, especially Call of Duty. I just didn't think it was like that good of an experience. Yeah, ergonomics are better and stuff, but yeah, definitely it adds latency. Now, my recommendation, you need something that can do a proper 1000 hertz. Now, there are controllers out there, X-input controllers. I don't have any, which actually have the option to change the resolution, like the Vader 4 Pro and the big one, Rainbow 2 Pro and stuff. So I mean, don't take my word for it, but on paper, sounds like that they can be really good match with this adapter on PS5. I will try and get one to see, if it's going to make a difference. But using the V3 TE, now it could be because this is the tournament edition, and I have the wonky resolution stuff going on the right stick. That's why it didn't feel that great. But this has the best performance, and I'll be completely honest. Using the adapter, I'd rather just use a standard a controller that's modified from a standard DualSense controller. Like I've been using the Hex Phantom. That's my favorite PS5 controller right now, and that's what I've been using, and that works great. Or DualSense Edge. But if you are in the market for the V3, your Victrix BFG or Nacon, then maybe it makes sense to get the V3 TE with the adapter and get sort of like a little bit better performance that way. But honestly, the way Sony does things, I don't even think there is a point of doing anything other than Sony. Is just, that's how their company is. So yeah, in all honesty, I think it's a really good device. Amazing that we have the capability of using Xbox controllers and other ones. But in my personal experience, especially for competitive gaming, if it's not a very competitive game, it's like X-Defiant, I can play easily on this adapter. Like I can really enjoy it and stuff. But that game is shutting down. You know your lobbies. You guys know like how tough it can be in Call of Duty. If you're playing Call of Duty or any other game that has skill-based matchmaking, I don't know. I mean, single-player games, yes, yeah, you can have a lot of fun. But then if you're playing single-player games, you probably want those haptic feedback and stuff that the DualSense offers. And then, yeah, I guess fight sticks and things like that, they'll be able to utilize this adapter. I'm just glad that somebody's actually doing something, and hopefully Brook can maybe improve things and whatever, like in the future, we never know. We might get to a point where we can actually match the other performance and stuff. I think right now, that conversion that's going on of the resolution that's coming out of the controller, like that threw me off. That's probably the thing that I didn't enjoy that much. And latency-wise, if we can get like a fast enough controller, then it's not much, honestly. Like I don't think latency is the issue here. Latency is not going to be the problem, but combining that little bit added latency with the resolution conversion and everything that's going on, that potentially is something. That's why I felt like just using a DualSense or a DualSense Edge was the better option on PS5. Well, that's everything from me, guys. If there's anything I left out, if you want me to test for anything or whatever, definitely do let me know in the comments. Thanks for all the support, especially in these recent couple of months where I've been absent, just dealing with some personal stuff. Big changes, massive changes in my life right now. So, but hopefully getting back onto the content creation thing and gaming a bit more. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more stuff. Please do share your thoughts, your experiences, especially if you have this adapter or anything else that you are using, especially the Besavior P5 Mate or whatever. If you have that one, if you feel like what that one is doing, if you can share about that, that'd be amazing. I was actually thinking of buying that as well. But yeah, good device. I just think right now, I mean, I don't have a perfect solution. I can't tell you the perfect solution. I can just tell you what I felt. but potentially there are controllers out there that you can modify and stuff and then really, truly utilize this device on PS5. Yeah, so thank you so much for all the support. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Hopefully, I'll catch you in one of my other videos. Bye for now.